That was a good first slash second time since I didn't remember anything from the first time we went here.
Welcome to Myrtle Beach Eats and Beyond, the show where a local foodie, that's me, attempts to parlay a passion for delicious eats into a useful video guide for other locals and tourists attempting to answer the age-old question, where should we eat in Myrtle Beach? Don't worry, I've got you covered. With me on this journey are my three progeny, that's them, who also love to experience new eating emporiums, raising them up right. We'll also be exploring fun, family-friendly activities and showing you the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, the lowdowns and hoedowns of where to shop, play, stop, and stay. If you're lucky, I might even cook for you. And if that's not enough to convince you to subscribe, just know that once a week, I am completely wrecking my diet to bring you this content. Now, I'm not saying that you should feel guilty about that in any way, but I'm just saying you should subscribe. Welcome to the channel, friends. I am so glad you're here. Today we're zipping up Route 17 and throwing down with our old stomping grounds in North Myrtle Beach. Brisket will always have a special place in the hearts of me and mine because it's the first place we went to eat the first time we came to the coast. In April of 2020, we'd left New Hampshire and headed for Columbia, South Carolina. Temporarily secured in a little craftsman Airbnb on the outskirts of town, I was getting nervous when every apartment complex I called either didn't answer the phone or had shut down showings. Although my lovely Airbnb host had given me the option of extending my stay, and I had a hunch that I could probably have secured a longer-term rental there if I had wanted to, something about the area just didn't quite feel like home to me. So one day, I extended my search to include more easterly directions on the map, and I found some agents willing to show me properties in the Grand Strand area. So we hopped in the car, drove for a couple hours, and finally landed at the beach. After looking at some rentals, lunch was high priority, and I had already looked up and located a nearby restaurant with fried green tomatoes on the menu. Because let's face it, after Longhorn hooked us on seasonal fried green tomatoes for 3 years running and then abruptly dropped our must-have like a bad habit, well, fried green tomatoes is half the reason we moved south. So Brisket was open, and we called in an order to be enjoyed outside on the patio picnic tables. The air was warm, the sun was shining, and the food was so good. As I sat there, I listened to a group of men sharing lunch nearby. They looked relaxed and happy as they laughed and chatted, fresh from their round of golf and dressed in pleasant pastels. In that moment, I realized that this was where I wanted to be, where I wanted to make our new home. With God's help, we made it happen.
Emma in her new room.
I've been waiting all this moment to have my own room again.
You happy?
I'm dizzy.
Okay.
And I'm happy. I'm so happy.
And although we've been here ever since, we hadn't yet made it back to Brisket to try some more of the menu. Brisket advertises authentic Texas-style barbecue, and their dining room gives off the energy of a casual saloon with its prominent bar area, wood-stained tables, and sturdy chairs that make a lovely musical tone when dragged across the concrete floor. The staff is incredibly friendly and welcoming, and even though they had misplaced their stash of crayons, they went out of their way to dig out a collection of colored pens so that my children could color their kids' menu. If you've been with our channel and seen any of our other videos, you'll know that we tend to go to restaurants during less busy times, partly so I don't lose my mind with impatient, starving children, but mostly so I can film without interruption. We got to Brisket right when it opened at 11:30, and by the time we were finishing up, it was getting full up fast, and we were happy to scoot out of the way so they could ready our vacated table to serve another hungry group behind us. Normally, we just have water, but during this visit, we indulged in a single sweet tea simply so we could review its flavor.
Good, right?
Yeah.
But you can't get sweet tea anywhere here.
That's good. That is literally so yummy.
And confirm for you, our viewer, it was in fact deliciously sweet. We grabbed a taco trio with one of each, chicken, pork, and brisket taco. They were loaded with tons of cheese and lettuce on top with a nice crispy shell. The meat inside was undressed, so it can be eaten plain. You can choose to drench it in any one of their delicious sauces, or you can just dip it in sour cream and salsa if you prefer. Fried green tomatoes was a given, of course, and we once again enjoyed the cornmeal crisp of these crunchy discs. We also ordered a plate of pulled chicken with a side of coleslaw. Now, I don't really know very much about the different types of barbecue, so I was surprised to find that the chicken was more of a chopped chicken than a pulled chicken, but I think it's nice that it comes out undressed, so you can choose whether to add a spicy, a sweet, or a mustard-based sauce according to your preferences. Yum! The brisket quesadillas were tender and crispy, and the quesadilla queen in my family was completely won over.
I was literally crying because that quesadilla was so good. I just want to That's good.
It's a brisket quesadilla. What you think?
That's amazing.
We also got a trio of sides to ensure I had enough food to feed my hungry monkeys.
Yep, I can't resist.
The baked beans were slightly sweet and absolutely delicious. We could definitely take home a tub of those and enjoy baked beans on toast anytime, day or night. The mac and cheese was also a surprise, as it takes quite a deviation from the traditional creamy yellow mac and cheese usually found in the South. It was smothered in a cheesy bechamel style sauce with just a little bit of a kick. My mac and cheese queen was delighted and happily gobbled up her brother's remaining portion after he had had his fill. Brisket is located at 1501 Highway 17 South in North Myrtle Beach, across from the Beechwood Golf Club. You can also find their story and their full menu online at brisketnmb.com. And speaking of take-home, Brisket does a mean takeout service, allowing you to bring home 12-ounce sides and meat by the pound if you wish. Just make sure to give them 24 hours notice for orders over 5 pounds. That way, there'll be enough for us when we get there. They also do catering, so you can make any event into a fabulous barbecue.
That was a good first/second time, since I didn't remember anything from the first time we went here.
Okay.
So, it's technically my second time, but it feels like my first time.
What did you like the best today?
Probably the quesadilla.
The brisket quesadilla. That was
Yeah.
nice. That was Emma's favorite too. What was your favorite, Elle?
Wow.
I already know what you're gonna say.
My favorite is the mac and cheese.
I knew it.
And the chicken and the barbecue sauce, just everything.
You love the chicken and the barbecue sauce?
Yes.
Nice. That's it for now, my friends. Stay hungry and keep tuning in for more local eats. Thanks for watching, everyone.